channel. This is my secondary channel. I do have a brand new gaming setup. So as I said, this is my secondary channel. So my regular channel I can't stream on. I'm trying to link both of them together so we can watch two at the same time. Like if I stream on this channel, it'll go on that channel too.
What about a civilization?
I'm gonna try to get that.
There may be worlds.
I can't get that, so I'm just gonna listen to music. Yes, I did change the profile picture and name today. Sorry.
And reassemble them around their world to make a ring, buying them more room and more resources. Oh, your future looks bright.
Yeah, that's better.
But the poor beings of these worlds have only a 1 in 3 chance of making it through. What is that? Could this be their attempt to solve a solar system-wide energy crisis? They depend on solar power, but their star is only a feeble red dwarf, incapable of providing direct energy for their multiplanetary civilization. Maybe they've used up all their fuel, so they're building a shell to surround their star and harvest every photon of sunlight. How would we frame our own entry, cosmic encyclopedia of possible worlds? Perhaps even now, someone has written it for us. A planetary dossier garnered from a television broadcast or from some discrete survey mission. They might summon up the index of blue worlds in our province of the Milky Way until they came to the listing of Earth. What would they think of this? We have long watched the stars and news about whether there are other beings who think and wonder about us. A cosmic setting, vast and all beyond ordinary human understanding. We're a little lonely. %. That's all. I know a way we can up those odds. It's about taking what science is telling us to heart.
Dang, I suck, bro.
This is the dream cosmos. And this is the story that science is telling us. Our universe began some 14 billion years ago, when matter, energy, time, and space burst forth. And the darkness was cold, and the light was hot. And the union of these extremes gave shape to matter and to structure. They were great stars, hundreds of times the mass of our sun. And these stars exploded, sending oxygen carbon to the worlds to come, and adorning them with gold and silver. And in their deaths, the stars became darkness. And the weight of their darkness vanished from light. And new stars were born from their death shrouds. And they began to dance with each other. now, they were galaxies. Galaxies make stars. Stars make worlds.
I might be wearing more hats in my videos.
And there came a time when heat shot out from the molten heart of this world and warmed the waters. And the matter that had rained down from the stars came alive.
Let me use keyboard and mouse.
And that starship
I'm screwed up.
became aware.
I'm screwed up.
And that life was sculpted by the earth and struggled with the other living things. And a great tree grew up, one with many branches, and 6 times it was almost fell, but still it grows. And we are but one small branch, one that cannot live without its tree. And slowly we learn to read the book of nature, to learn her laws, to nurture the tree, to become a way for the cosmos to know itself, and to return to the stars.
Bright colors, Capri's freshness, Glad Force Plus.
Hello?
This holiday season, choose the longest lasting AA battery.
Hello?
Energizer Ultimate Lithium. Backed by science, matched by Noah.
With moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, your plans can change.
Hello?
Your head wants to do one thing, but your gut says, not today. GI-focused Intibio is made for this. Intibio acts specifically in the GI tract to prevent an excess of white blood cells from entering and causing damaging inflammation. Intibio has helped many patients achieve long-term relief.
Dude, I hear your commercials. I know your mic is on.
Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Intibio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. Although unlikely, a risk of PML, a rare, serious, and potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, experience frequent infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Liver problems can occur with Intibio. If other treatments haven't worked well enough, ask your doctor about Intibio. If you're experiencing financial hardship during these trying times, Takeda may be able to help.
Nice soothing lotion. Yoga tissue with coconut oil, aloe, and vitamin E. Made to nourish skin. Kleenex brand. Made for all the moments. I take spin class twice a week.
Jingles doesn't care. I can still show my grandson a thing or two. Jingles doesn't care.
I make healthy, taste delicious.
Good for you, but Shingles doesn't care. Because 1 in 3 people will get shingles. You need protection. But no matter how healthy you feel, your immune system declines as you age, increasing your risk of getting shingles. So what can protect you? Shingrix protects. For the first time ever, you can protect yourself from shingles with a vaccine proven to be over 90% effective. Shingrix is a vaccine used to prevent shingles in adults 50 years and older. Shingrix does not protect everyone and is not for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients or to a previous dose. The most common side effects are pain, redness, and swelling at the injection site, muscle pain, tiredness, headache, shivering, fever, and upset stomach. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about protecting yourself with Shingrix. Shingles doesn't care. Shingrix protects.
Well, hello and welcome. I am an optimistic human woman. No, breeze. Or woman's Chanel. I'm the Alex.
Want me to lock it?
Would you?
You want me on the inside or the outside?
What do you think? Call me Dad. And there's something on Fox.
We all feel the weight of the shadows on our future. But at another time, every bit as ominous as our own. There were those who could see a way through the darkness to find a star to steer by. Carl Sagan wrote, "I was a child in a time of hope. I wanted to be a scientist from my earliest school days. The crystallizing moment came when I first caught on that the stars are mighty suns. When it first dawned on me how staggeringly far away they must be to appear as mere points of light in the sky. I'm not sure I even knew the meaning of stars, but I wanted somehow to immerse myself in all that beauty. I was gripped by the splendor of the universe, transfixed by the prospect of understanding how things really work, of helping to uncover deep mysteries, of exploring new worlds. Maybe even literally. It has been my good fortune to have had that dream in part fulfilled. For me, the romance of science remains as appealing and new as it was on that day, when I was shown the wonders of the 1939 New York World's Fair. If an extraterrestrial scouting were to survey Earth, what would they look like? Who are we? Are we a species capable of fundamental change? Or is there something in our DNA that will determine our fate? Do the dead hands of forgotten ancestors propel us in some direction beyond our control? Can we free our children from the demons that generate us and walk our spaces? Can we be trusted with our own future? Since the civilization of ancient Persia, and probably even before, we've wondered if there's something about human nature that contains the seeds of our destruction.
Just reboot me.
Why did he go in their fort?
Just reboot me,
Oh my gosh, fine.
bro. Bro.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Okay. Hey, when did you start in the season?
There are places on Earth that are safe.
When did you start? Like, what season did you start playing?
The earliest site we know of where fire was tamed.
I got it like a week ago.
More than 1 million years ago.
I know.
What is today known
crap.
as Wonderful Kingdom,
Accept my friend request.
South Africa.
Well,
I'll buy you a skin.
Ancestors gathered and first
No.
killed the heart of humankind.
Okay.
well, good game.
Every human
Good
being
game.
alive today on Earth is a member of the species Homo sapiens, the so-called wise ones. And our fourth
Accept my friend
here
request. I'm trying to
tonight
be nice,
are
but
Homo erectus, those who stood up. If they're not yet us, but we carry them within us. We don't know much about them. We think they took care of each other when they became old or ill. We know that
I wasn't capping, bro. I was gonna buy your skin, bro.
It
Oh
is
no,
around
I
fires
shouldn't
such as this one
accept
that
it.
we began to cook our food, to tell each other stories, and to create a shared, learned identity with our kin. That life when humans first evolved, only hundreds of
Oh,
thousands of
don't
years
don't
ago,
don't do
we
that.
don't know most of what's important about our past.
Yo, anyone gets my?
To be the way we are. But instead, our species is
Okay.
hundreds of thousands of years old. Homo erectus, a couple of
Hey, do you guys not care if I put you in a YouTube video?
mammals are more than 200 years
Okay.
old, about 4 billion
Okay.
years old. All but a few of our ancestors are wholly unknown to us. And we sift through the earth to find the bits of ash and animal bones that are the only surviving evidence of humanity. We only began living with the future in mind, consciously living a detailed record of human development. Around 5,000 years ago. Yet, one thing remained constant. Homo erectus, the greatest generation. Our fascination with fire.
I might die often because I'm playing mouse and keyboard.
And this was true here at Persepolis. Magnificent complex built by the Persian emperors of the 6th
On me.
century BCE.
Nobody landed at my house.
Hey, yo. Alright. So earlier, we just died, and I got in a match. So I was playing with this one girl, and I just realized she was a girl, and I realized she was a default, and I asked her what season she played in, and so she said like this week, and she was a default. I offered to buy her a skin, but she said no.
Bro, I got people on me.
Yo, it didn't really make sense, you know. I'm pretty sure anyone would take a skin, bro. Knock the guy.
I'm coming over there now.
Yo, I'm gonna take this back hit. Oh.
Coming over there now.
Oh, he's shaking me down.
Oh shoot, I'm checking somebody by accident. Alright, who's lowest? Who's lower?
Me.
Ooh, I'm about to die. I'm not. Yep, GG.
I'm gonna invite you guys to a party. Or I'll just join yours. I'm being lonely. I have no one to play with. Why do I have to have a round face? Hopefully I'm more in this game.
In the morning on 19 November 4th, welcome to day 5 of Wellness Parenting County Election Week.
While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
In a last grasp for power, Trump refused to concede stonewalling transition, threatening to overturn the election he won. The election he lost.
Did you really expect him to come out and say, I concede the election? Did anybody expect him to say that? No!
4 years of tumult, assaults on the truth coming to a close.
And the second highest number of votes ever. I think it shows that the American people like the results that they that our country can see under President Trump.
Certainly he has invigorated a larger part of the American electorate to believe that they can be heard.
Time will tell exactly what his legacy will be, but for sure he will be one of the most controversial presidents in our history.
And America's 46th president-elect now prepared to lead a divided nation.
Next, Affleck. Then Affleck.
He was the background.
Plus, what do Leah Michelle, Ellen, and Nick Cannon have in common?
Unleash the online mob.
When the year returns. Admit it. Please, what do you need to do to change growth? Like every day. So what is it that you really need to know? Why? How can you not just improve your life, but feel smarter, feel better, feel How about a third hour of Good Morning America? January 3rd. What will you do tomorrow? It's all about you. Lunchtime at 1 Eastern, 12 Central Pacific on ABC. This is going to be so good.
Reality is a country can collapse from within.
You see the white farm the neo-Nazis, skinheads, it's mixed to incite war.
From the KKK to Oklahoma City to Charlottesville, the new documentary event special.
We just need to start talking about race.
Homegrown hate, the war among us.
This is a real wake-up call.
Streaming now on ABC News Live.
What we're seeing right now is part of the eye wall. Possession of migrants got us back 2 miles.
There is going to be catastrophic damage.
Fire has made a run. You can see those flames shooting up into the sky.
Here on the jam-packed red carpet.
This is the first week protest.
Your mom said, comb your hair. Your dad told you, stop now. Your dog is judging you. And your best friend just called you crazy. We all need something to pull no punches and give it to us straight. Now, getting your news like that. Steady, just give it to me straight. Straightforward news. Straight to the heart of the story. ABC News.
What's the most innovative daily news
So-
podcast out there to listen to every day? Well, the Edward R. Murrow Awards say it's Start Here.
I really suck at this game.
From ABC News.
I really do.
It's a top news podcast worth listening to. So, if you like getting behind the biggest news stories of the day, inside all the details, the backstory, and what will happen next, then listen to Start Here, the daily news podcast on ABC News. It's like no other news podcast out there. Even the critics agree. Listen free on Apple Podcasts.
Tonight, here's Celebrities with Janae Norman. Celebrity news feeds in 2020 looked a lot like our own.
Hey yo, I have a new YouTube channel name now. For my I have a new YouTube channel I'm streaming on right now. Well, it's not new, it's pretty old, but yeah. I'm using it. Yeah? Damn, this person's so nice.
I'm not about to waste what could potentially be maybe our last moments together, not together.
Damn, this person has like technically no guns. Fortnite. Just me and another person I met because, you know, kind of lonely right now. I'm also streaming because, you know. Not right now. I don't have a donation link yet.
NCO Sierra and Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson welcoming baby Wayne Wilson. Dad sharing their joy on social media. But 2020 also brought heartbreak. In October, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend sharing the agony of miscarriage.
Dang, I suck at the game. Want me to invite you to the party? I'm gonna invite you. Want me to give you my other YouTube channel name? Okay, it's the most simplest one, so you can't forget this one. So, it's every day. No spaces, every day.
busy.
Yeah.
Every day, just space, space. Gaming.
Lovers and true patriots. We're Newsmax.
I'm gonna look up my own channel right now.
Newsmax TV. Real news for real people. This country was made by tax rebels, freedom fighters, gold seekers, believers, lovers, and true patriots. We're Newsmax, and we're there.
That the House already passed. They say if you try to do a different bill or try to make changes, there's just not enough.
Yeah, I'm streaming right now.
If it's done before Sunday,
It says it.
when the new Congress is set to be sworn in. But we don't know what Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is going to do. He has introduced a new bill, one that would include $2,000 checks, but it would also repeal Section 230, and it would establish an election fraud commission. And all three of those together is just not going to get through both the House and Senate and become law. So at this point,
Leave the party real quick.
see how McConnell is going to move forward on this. Again, it all needs to be wrapped up.
Hello. Oh, it's like a earring.
Urge lawmakers here to override Trump's veto of the defense bill.
Someone's mic is
Likely
trash.
Is there any indication just in terms of how that could potentially go? We are expecting to see an override. It originally passed with that veto-proof majority. So we do expect that to happen, but the process is dragging on, and it all goes back to those $2,000 stimulus checks. There is a group of senators who have been delaying this process because they want to vote on those extra stimulus checks. On that extra money. You've seen Senator Bernie.
No, it's everyday space gaming.
On this effort, so instead of fast tracking that vote, it's being dragged out a little bit. They're going to have procedural and just real quick, the vaccine of what we've seen from the administration. Real quick, we're running out of time here, but what time you can expect regarding Kitchen's office to just 3 weeks from now? And we did hear a little bit about it on yesterday. Yesterday, the U.S. needs to ramp up.
Hey, bro, that's fine. I just muted him.
In order
So
to get more
we won't have to
more
hear that.
vaccines out there, to use the Defense Production Act to speed up the production of this vaccine.
Hey, scroll down and just to see it.
Congress to make sure that
The front screen should be not a Renegade Raider. It should be a freaking what skin is that called again?
Years hoping to get vaccinated instead of the months that has been the goal. Done.
I want to do that.
Coming up here on Yahoo Finance Live, the IPO frenzy. Companies are $167 billion this year. What do you expect as we head into next year? We're back with that in 2 minutes.
Everybody likes
I don't know why I can't do this here.
Recently left my mind's been a little fried. You gotta do this, man. So nacho fries.
Whenever Taco Bell takes them off the menu, he can't escape the crazy. That's how it feels all this.
You went all the way at me.
We do it every night. Every night. I live alone.
I'm not
I still do it every night. Right after dinner.
Definitely after meatball. Like clockwork.
Do it. Run your dishwasher with Cascade Platinum and save water. Did you know an Energy Star certified dishwasher uses less than 4 gallons per cycle, while a running sink uses that every 2 minutes? That
Can
means
you come in the car and
save
pick me
water.
up?
So why not do it? Run your dishwasher every night with Cascade Platinum. A surprising way to save water.
Ashley Home Store's New Year's sale is going on now. Get up to 25% off. Or get 0% interest for 6 years. Celebrating New Year with new styles. Only from America's #1 furniture and outlet store, Ashley Home Store.
I'm sorry, but I can't get you. I'm sorry. Like, you're way too far.
Go ahead. I'm a chemical super freak. Asked us to accomplish
In my path, where to see, you just smile. To the prosper, come prosper, in by side.
Wait. Sorry.
Everything in my house, where to see, you just smile. To the prosper, come prosper, even
I would get you if I
by
had a
side.
helicopter, but I don't.
Thing in my path, where to see,
Let's talk about the big year that has been for
I
IPOs.
want you to
We've seen names like Airbnb,
come
DoorDash,
prosper,
Palantir, all
even
going public.
meaning
And the
by
company's
side.
raising $167 billion this year. Emily McCormick,
I want that
a little
to
bit more
impact
for us. And Emily,
I don't know.
look at the IPO market. I mean, it's been an incredible year here. So you really see this resurgence in the fourth quarter. The question everyone wants to know is whether or not this momentum
Oh, I thought you were in a car.
Absolutely, Shauna. And just looking over the course of 2020, it truly has been a banner year for newly public companies. You referenced that $160 billion figure. That's the amount that companies raised on U.S. exchanges so far this year through December 24th. And that was a record and actually exceeded what we saw at the height of the dot-com boom. At that point, that record had been $108 billion raised in IPOs by newly public companies in 1 year alone. Now, I think just taking a look at this year, what really had been a trend was seeing some unconventional means for these companies to actually go public. And in that, I'm really referencing those special purpose acquisition companies, those SPACs, where those companies would actually go public first and then acquire a private company to bring that company public as well. And just to name a few companies in that category, we recently had the electric battery developer QuantumScape go public via SPAC, and of course billionaire investor Bill Ackman held a $3 billion IPO on his SPAC, Pershing Square Tontine Holdings, over the summer. That had been one of this year's largest IPOs as well, also a SPAC there. But again, speaking to the momentum that we've seen among these huge newly public names, we had the Renaissance IPO ETF more than double for the year to date. We've seen some incredible first day pops for a number of these companies. I'm looking at DoorDash, of course, with a more than 80% pop on its first day, Airbnb more than doubling from its IPO price, and even looking beyond the companies that we had go public in December. Earlier on over the summer, we saw Lemonade and Vroom both see their shares more than double in their first days as well. And so I think as we head into 2021, really we are seeing strategists say that they expect this momentum to continue. I do want to highlight that we did see a couple of companies, namely Affirm and Roblox, actually put off their IPOs until next year, just to let a little bit of this euphoria die down. But we really are riding a wave of momentum here in the newly public market as we head into next year, Shauna. And Emily, real quick, you mentioned Roblox and Affirm both postponing their IPOs. At least Roblox, for example, while a lot of that had to do with the potential for leaving money on the table, and that has to do with that first day pop that you were just talking about. Real quick, what is the role that retail investors, what role did they play in this? Do we have any idea about that?
Well, retail investors played an enormous role in these pops that we've really been seeing. I mean, it's really been them that has been driving these huge increases, like Airbnb, again, more than doubling on its first day alone in this year's largest U.S. IPO. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that retail traders tend to be typically more bullish than your institutional investors. They have a desire to get in early on some of these companies that may have a growth runway going forward. So instead of purchasing shares of an established tech name with a market cap over $1 trillion, again, and while that valuation is still in the tens of billions of dollars, and I hope to see some further growth there. So we've really seen this preference towards the growth narrative among the retail investor as opposed to necessarily showing a history of profitability, and that's something that it potentially will continue going forward.
All right, Emily McCormick, as always, thanks for breaking that down for us. Keep it right here on Yahoo Finance. Adam Shapiro and Nabil Marcellus taking you through the final 2 hours of trading that all starts in just 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm back. I
cycle Switzerland,
And the Andes.
and Japan. It's a new world of experience at your fingertips.
Let's get rolling. This is what it's about.
Nordic Track, the home of interactive personal training. Life is busy, and sometimes odors can sneak up on you. For a convenient life hack, try Febreze Unstoppable's Fabric Refresher. With 2 times the scent power of regular Febreze, Unstoppable's fabric finds, neutralizes, and eliminates tough odors trapped in hard-to-wash fabrics, like couches or smelly sports equipment, leaving an irresistibly fresh scent. And for a tropical burst of freshness, try new Paradise Scent. Stop sneaky odors from lingering in your home with Febreze Unstoppables.
2020's done. A new era has begun. So keep pushing forward because this is 2021. Make a different future. Start different at GoDaddy.com.
With Visible's all-in phone service, you get unlimited browsing. Is this unlimited?
Yo, let me get the sniper.
Play on my eyebrows?
Let me get the sniper. 1 sec.
Human
Move.
feelings. Visible, $40 a month all-in phone service.
I'm Chris Berman, and welcome back to the biggest auto protection show on earth, brought to you by CarShield. If your car is not warranty or expiring, you can get stuck paying thousands.
Kill him! Kill him!
Transmission or computer system breakdown. But when you have CarShield, you'll never pay for some of the repairs again. CarShield makes sure
Oh my
you don't
God.
have to pay for expensive car repairs, and that's why I'm a CarShield customer.
Calling number 931-5082.
Health measures to be the gateway to safely and prudently opening up the economy again.
My advice to any entrepreneur out there is you got to pivot.
In this land of opportunity, anything is possible.
It all comes down to business economics and safety.
We can do this. I'm absolutely convinced.
Oh my God.
New York City,
Sniper.
the life of a congressman-elect as the Senate prepares for a stimulus showdown. The pandemic has now claimed the lives of more than 338,000 Americans. As the vaccine rollout falls short of intended goals, we have an update from Washington, D.C. The new relief bill is a start, but the pandemic delivered a 1-2 punch to small businesses, as well as entrepreneurs, especially hard hit for people of color. So we will speak to an African-American business owner about the steps she is taking to get through the crisis and what she suggests needs to be done to shore up businesses like hers. The tastiest way to welcome the new year may be more than 250 million years old. Caviar is back on the menu, and not the cheap stuff you get at the corner market. We're talking genuine beluga caviar that is now being harvested here in the United States. Nothing fishy here as the team from Marky's Caviar and Sturgeon Aqua Farms joins us a little bit later on. We've got an hour left in the trading session. I'm Adam Shapiro.
And I'm Nabil Marcellus. Really happy to be here with you, Adam, today. Now, 2 stocks that I've been paying very close attention to today. One of them is Apple. As we know, we've got the new stimulus legislation that President Trump has signed into law, the $600 stimulus checks. Some start getting deposited into people's bank accounts yesterday. So the question is, those that don't have to take care necessarily of the basics such as food and rent, but want to invest that money, what stock might they be interested in investing in? And one of the beneficiaries we saw was Apple. Apple hit an all-time high yesterday, so I've been paying close attention to that stock today. A very popular retail stock among millennials, and seeing how it's doing. It's off just about 1 point, but Apple obviously still doing very well. And the other stock I've been paying close attention to is AstraZeneca, because a UK regulator has approved the
look at this cheap shot I posted on my other channel.
AstraZeneca vaccine. So I always like to keep an eye on how investors are being rewarded for their investments in these major companies being so innovative and coming up with those vaccines. So AstraZeneca, I'm looking right now, its stock is up a little bit less than 1%, but its competitors like Moderna and Pfizer are in the red, with Moderna down more than 3%.
Jamil, people like to keep an eye on Tesla as well. Shares were up almost 3% midday trading. Right now they're approaching up about 4%. There was a note from Dan Ives over at Wedbush. He said, and this is a quote, I'm going to read from this, based on our initial analysis of demand and the delivery trajectory globally for Tesla in the fourth quarter, it appears Musk and company will likely handedly exceed street and internal expectations. This has to do with deliveries. They're going to exceed the 500,000, perhaps 190 to 200,000 in the quarter that we will be finishing out. And heading into 2021, there is big demand for EV vehicles, electric vehicles, especially with news now out of India. They are set to approve the selling of EV vehicles via Tesla in India. They've been pre-selling cars in India since 2016, but the Minister for Road Transport in India has confirmed that Tesla is ready to make its debut there in early 2021. So Musk and company putting the pedal to the metal. Now let's talk about Disney. Those shares hit an intraday high earlier. They were up about 2% in midday trading. Right now, let's take a look. They are still up about 2%. Here's some of what's going on.
Why is my voice
The 52-week range has been as low as $79 to as high as the $183 it touched earlier today. There's a new Star Wars offering in the works. Obi-Wan McGregor will play the Jedi Master in a live-action show on Disney's streaming service, Disney Plus. And Hayden Christensen is going to come back as Darth Vader. Some of the Star Wars junkies not so, thrilled with Hayden Christensen. Perhaps he's done a little bit better as the evil Darth Vader. We'll see. So this is coming to Hulu, not Hulu, to Disney Plus later in 2021. Also, remember, 86 million subscribers with Disney Plus planning to hit 260 million in 3 years. Let's turn our attention, though, back to the overall markets in just a second. As we check that, we see right now the indices are in the green. The S&P 500, Dow, and NASDAQ all trading higher. Part of what's going on here, though, is waiting for news out of Washington. Jessica Smith joins us now with the latest on what's going on in regards to the $2,000 potential stimulus check, COVID, and much more. Jessica?
Yeah, the Senate is running out of time to increase those stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000. We are waiting to see what Majority Leader Mitch McConnell plans to do next. Just a moment ago, he started speaking on the Senate floor, so we will look to see if he is giving any indication of what he plans to do. But he has introduced a new bill that would include $2,000 checks, but it would also include a repeal of Section 230, and it would establish...
Okay, guys, how old do I sound?
Those are all priorities that President Trump...
I'm not talking to you guys, I'm talking about streamers. What's that?
All of those combined, it's a really, really hard time to become law. Democrats and some Republicans would certainly oppose that. Democrats have been blasting McConnell all day, saying he is essentially killing these $2,000 checks by wrapping all of these issues together.
That sounds
They say that the only way to actually get this done is for the Senate to vote on the bill.
I am 12 though. Like, I don't even notice that my voice is like, my voice is getting deep though.
Senate Republicans and Majority Leader.
In blocking it, they are in denial of the hardship that the American people are experiencing now.
Guys, I'm not talking to you guys.
Nationally and everywhere.
I'm talking to my streamers. I'm talking to my viewers.
In many cases, are on the bricks. So they're in denial of that need.
Hey bro, how old do I sound? I sound 12, do I? Because my voice is like heckin' deep, right? It's like deep. I sound like 13 or 12. Dang, my voice hasn't gotten that deep.
I did. Try and get a vote on those $2,000 checks. Again, majority of the
I can hear myself.
If he has said anything to give us any clue what he plans to do next, but all of this has to get done by Sunday.
And Jess, are we getting any indication that Mitch McConnell and other Republicans are feeling pressure because of the Georgia Senate races that are coming up to somehow try to still get the $2,000 stimulus checks passed?
Well, we have seen both of those candidates, both of those Republican senators who are trying to keep their seats come out and say they do support the $2,000 checks. That's something that we have heard from some Democratic lawmakers saying, by voting on this bill or putting this bill out there, McConnell can at least say, hey, I tried to do these $2,000 checks, but as Democrats put it, he's including poison pills.
You guys can hear the news. One second, I'm gonna make it so you guys can hear the news.
We'll see if he ends up taking up the House passed bill. That's still a possibility at this point, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Dang, everything's
Jessica Smith in Washington,
going.
D.C. for us. Thank you very much. Turning our attention to the market, we haven't seen this many records since Ronco was selling vinyl in the 1970s on TV. Jared Blickery is joining us with more on where the markets are heading for the
Oh, Mr. Copio. Haven't heard that name in a while. But let's take a look at the Wi-Fi's interactive footage price action of the day, which admittedly has been extremely muted as we head into the end of the year. Lots of traders on vacation. Dow is up 23 basis points. You can see it just slowly bleeding lower here over the last.
You wearing a hat, wearing a beanie.
We're really sitting on big gains to begin with. Now let's take a look inside the market now, and we have NASDAQ 100 showing that the big caps are under pressure. Now,
Oh yeah, I have to.
each off more than 1%. Microsoft and Amazon and Apple each
We're just
I died.
they wearing a hat, mute, and a beanie. It makes the hat look better, like a Fortnite style.
I was just talking about that bullish note by Dan Ives and Wedbush, and Credit Suisse too thinks that the company is going to be able to achieve their goal of 500,000 cars delivered this year. But also China stocks, so these are strong. It's bouncing back nicely today.
Dang, why is my mic so sensitive? My mic is like really loud.
Today to
so it's like eroded and stuck over, so I wiggled it. I took the top piece off, wiggled it, broke it free, and then put some WD-40 in there. Yeah. No problem. All right.
Also hitting a record high overnight. It's at 28,700. That'd be something. We got to 30,000 by the end of the year, which is tomorrow.
Jared Blickery, we're going to keep an eye on that. We're going to be talking more about crypto and Bitcoin a little bit later on. But right now, coming up, a COVID-19 update for everybody. The pandemic claiming the lives of more than 338,000 Americans as the vaccine rollout is falling short of intended goals. Dr. Michael Sag at the University of Alabama, Birmingham will join us to let us know what needs to be done right now.
COVID-19 has killed more people in 8 months than flu has in 5 years. But now, there's hope. A COVID-19 vaccine is the tool we need to protect us. Clinical trials have shown the vaccine to be safe and effective. If enough Nevadans get vaccinated, we can restore community life. We can end this pandemic, but it will take all of us. Get the facts, join the fight at NBCode.
This is the best place to go to like break that wall. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die here.
No! He dead!
For expensive car repairs. Cars will break down, and those breakdowns could cost you thousands unless you call Car Shield today and get the protection you deserve.
Guys, come and get me. You guys can get my reboot card, or at least get me. It's possible.
Okay, let me farm.
There, now it's easier to get me.
Oh! Let's go! Stay on!
Okay, one second. Let me turn up my TV.
Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. Let's take a look at what's going on with the markets right now. They're all in the green. We've got the S&P, it's up 5 points, the Dow up 83 points, and the NASDAQ up about 19 points. We'll see if we can hit some highs. We've got less than an hour left in the trading day. Now, we have some good news on the vaccine front. The UK regulator actually approved the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. So want to bring in a doctor here to talk to about all this. Dr. Michael Zag, he's the Associate Dean of Global Health at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. And I wanted to first start with your thoughts, Doctor, on this AstraZeneca vaccine. Apparently, according to reports, it needs to be stored at temperatures quite as cold as Pfizer and Moderna, and also cheaper. So is this going to be a game changer?
I think it's an important new addition. We still need to see the data for this because there's some discussion about it only being 60% effective in a certain part of the study. I think it might have been a dose-related issue, and the other part of the study had 90% efficacy, which is comparable to the Pfizer and the Moderna. And remember, this is also the vaccine that was put on hold for a couple of weeks while they evaluated a possible neurologic toxicity. But all that said, it looks like it's going to be a winner, and because of the reasons you said, the transportation issues make it a little bit easier, the expense is a little better. I think it'll be a welcome addition to what we have to offer.
Doctor, would it make more sense? I realize each state prioritizes delivery of vaccine and how they inoculate their citizens. Would it make more sense to have some kind of coordinated federal effort? Because we read about deficiencies in delivery of the vaccine once it's in the state's hands.
Yeah, I really do, Adam. I think it's a very important thing for us. So we can look at just Israel as an example. They have got a remarkably efficient program in place where they're vaccinating most of their population over the next 2 to 3 months. And I think we could learn some lessons from that. The coordinated response on a federal level is very important, and it's not just the delivery of the vaccine, it's funding the delivery at the state level, or whatever pattern we choose. I think we just need to have a real strategic game plan, and that's the Warp Speed project got us the vaccines, tip of the hat for that, but we have to
I'm gonna take this beanie off now.
Arms. And what I'm seeing in my neck of the woods, people are clamoring for the vaccine. We really need to get it to them.
And Doctor, I understand you actually got the vaccine on Sunday. So my question to you is, did it hurt? We know that Vice President Mike Pence said that it didn't. So what was your experience? Was it similar? And what can we expect? And what is your next round, the second dose that you have to take?
So my situation is really kind of unique in a way. I actually had COVID back in March. So when I got the vaccine, it didn't hurt. It was fine. About 7 hours later, I started having chills and fever and some symptoms similar to what I had when I had COVID. I look at that in a backhanded way as good news. It means my immune system remembered this bad actor and responded appropriately. The symptoms for me after the vaccination lasted about 24 hours and they were gone, and I feel perfect right now. The thing I'm doing is I'm measuring antibodies both before I got the vaccine and after, and I'll make a game day decision about the second vaccine. Remember, in the studies that were done, very few people who were in those studies had prior disease. So we need to learn from our experience as people like me who have had COVID before get vaccinated. I will say this to everyone: if you've had COVID, you do not want to get vaccinated for about 90 days after your illness. People have been kind of critical of President Trump. Remember, he had an infection in October, so he's not quite out of the 90-day window yet, so we should give him a little bit of slack on that.
Do we know yet, Doctor, if there's a definitive yes, you will be protected from these vaccines from these new variants, which now have been seen in the United States?
Great question, and we don't know 100%, but my estimation is yes, it will still work. The area of the virus that the vaccine attacks is on that outer spike protein. That's the critical area. And there are some changes in this new variant that are in the spike region, but it appears to be quite different than where the vaccine generates antibody and immune response for it. So I think it'll still work fine. But like all infectious agents that are infecting a large number of people, we expect the agent to mutate. They will continue to do so, and we need to track that aggressively. We're starting to do that now.
Well, that's definitely super important as we continue to see new vaccines improve and more Americans really wanting to also get vaccinated for the general population. Dr. Michael Zag, Associate Dean for Global Health at University of Alabama at Birmingham, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
And we wanted to talk a little bit further about the impact of the coronavirus on the economy. So I want to bring in Yahoo Finance's Emily McCormick, who wrote a great piece about the impact of the coronavirus on the U.S. economy and how the coronavirus basically defined the U.S. economy in 2020. So Emily, what was the worst point for GDP this year, and what sectors of the U.S. economy were hit hardest?
Well, Sabila, you're absolutely right. I thought heading into 2021, it was worth taking stock of what happened in the economy as the historic year comes to a close. And to your point about the worst point for GDP, that had been in the second quarter of this year. We saw GDP down 31.4% on an annualized basis, and that was more than 3 times the pre-pandemic record contraction of 10% from 1958. Now, at the same time, that record contraction and those widespread shutdowns that really defined the spring, especially of this year, were met with equally historic rounds of monetary and fiscal stimulus from central banks and congressional lawmakers. Now, we then saw the U.S. economy grow at a record 33.4% annualized rate in the third quarter, although output levels are, of course, not quite back up to pre-pandemic levels just yet. Now, in terms of the areas of the economy that have been the hardest hit, it really has been the service sector. We talk a lot, especially recently, about this notion of the K-shaped recovery, and that's really shown up especially in the labor market. We saw that leisure and hospitality industries lost a staggering 8.3 million jobs between March and April alone, and those industries have yet to make up that deficit just yet. Now, I also want to highlight that things have been difficult across the economy as well. Employers lost a record 20.8 million jobs in April alone. We also saw the national unemployment rate surge to its pandemic-era high of 14.7% that month as well. Now, as of November, that's the latest data that we have, the economy is still 9.8 million jobs short of its pre-pandemic levels, and the unemployment rate at 6.7% is still double where it was before the pandemic. Now, I do want to note, though, that even given these high levels of unemployment, the fact that we had some of that stimulus in Congress's CARES Act actually come to a close and is now being replenished here, we have still seen consumer spending hold up pretty strongly. We saw even in November, even with a sequential month-over-month decline in retail sales, we still saw retail sales up more than 4% over the same month last year, really defined by this wallet mix shift towards goods purchases as opposed to services, as people were still impacted by these lockdowns and stay-in-place orders. Now, I think the big question now remains, where do we go from here heading into 2021? And a lot of economists have struck in really an even more upbeat and optimistic tone now that we have this $900 billion stimulus package, as well as these enhanced unemployment benefits. We saw that Goldman Sachs economists actually just earlier this week upgraded their GDP forecast for next year to 5.8% annualized, up from the 5.3% growth we saw previously, again on account of that stimulus. So hopefully that will be enough to bridge this gap, and potentially we may be getting more heading into the new year, but overall, truly an unprecedented year that we saw this year. It's the deal.
Absolutely, Emily. Definitely unprecedented. Hopefully we won't have to go through it again. And consumers can be optimistic about the vaccine and spending in 2021. Emily, thanks so much. And coming up, we're talking American caviar, and not even the cheap stuff, the real good stuff. The team from Marquis Caviar and Sturgeon Apple Farms joins us next with that story. Get back to the break.
Verizon 5G is here with the coverage of 5G nationwide and the unprecedented performance of ultra-wideband in more and more places where people need massive capacity and ultra-low lag. This is the 5G America's been waiting for, only from Verizon.
To be honest, I thought dust never bothered me until I found out what it actually was. Dust mite droppings? Dead skin cells? Gross. So now I grab my super heavy duty super and dusters. Dusters extend to 6 feet to reach way up high to grab, trap, and lock away gross dust. For dust on my floors, I switch to Sweeper. The heavy-duty claws reach deep in grooves to grab, trap, and lock dust bunnies no matter where they hide. No more heebie-jeebies. Glad I stopped cleaning and started sweeping.
forest.
What's he say?
The secret, dare to dream.
Rent or own the latest movies with Verizon Fios On Demand.
You could be watching football. Watch together for free on the Yahoo Sports app. You could be watching football. Watch together for free on the Yahoo Sports app.
Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. As we head toward the closing bell, a lot of us are planning our New Year's Eve celebrations for the hoi polloi, the common folk. We think big eating on a celebratory night might be some sour cream with salmon fish eggs right on top of a potato pancake. The patricians among us know that true caviar is the way to go with your champagne. So in two folk who have really just brought a revolution into how all of us can enjoy the best of the best when it comes to caviar. And that's Mark Zaslovsky from Marquis Caviar Group. He's the CEO, as well as David Bashkov, Mark's grandson, and also Mark's Caviar brand ambassador. You should know that what these two gentlemen are doing, not only harvesting traditional beluga, the most prized variety of caviar in the world, but they're growing the relatives of the ancient sturgeon in northern Florida. So let me start with you, Mark. How did you get around doing this? I mean, this is the stuff you can't import into the United States. You're growing it in the United States. Is it the same essential caviar you get that used to come from the Caspian Sea?
Yes, we started our company founded in 1983 as a small retail store. We were selling different products, and then we become a distributor of caviar. Probably because of my heavy accent, chefs would ask us for caviar. So we were importing caviar from Russia, Soviet Union for many years. Close to 2000, we understood that caviar will be coming to the end, and we decided to bring Caspian Sea to northern Florida. Historically, Russia and Iran were countries so we actually moved this capital to the United States. In 2001, we created Sturgeon Aqua Farm. 2003, we brought fish to the United States, and 2003, we reproduced fish, and we had more than 20,000 beluga in our backyard in northern Florida. And that's what we have.
It's impressive. It's impressive.
And have you actually succeeded in reducing our dependency on...
I'm gonna end the stream here. See you guys later. Peace.
Yes, we will. Thank you.